welcome back to the channel Afterglow Plants. If you're new here, my name is Daisy, and in this channel I help you with planning, productivity, and personal development. But more in particular, I help you with your digital planning journey. So today I wanted to make a quick episode or a quick video on how to write neatly on your iPad. So if you've ever tried writing with a stylus or an Apple Pencil, it is completely different than using a pen. Let me grab my pen over here. So I know that one of the things that kind of surprised me when I started my planning journey was the fact how different it was to write on the iPad with an Apple Pencil as opposed to just pen and paper. So I just wanted to illustrate here how, it looks almost the same. Let's see if you can see there. So I wrote the same easy tips to write neatly on your iPad. So it's kind of like, it is pretty much the same. And obviously with anything in life, it comes over time and practice, but it didn't take so long to get there. And let me show you just some quick tips to help you. And I'm bringing out the big guns. I have different tips. So first and most importantly, writing with this tip was like a game changer for me. It makes it look like you're almost using a real pen. I don't know if it's a mental thing. It may just be a mental thing for me, but it made it a lot different than writing with, let me get the tips out here. But that was personally, for me, that was the thing that made like the big change. And I'll link this tip below. They're really affordable on Amazon, but let me just get the ones, like these two come with, the Apple Pencil comes with two tips. So one of them is hiding in there, but let me just show you the difference. So let me write again here. Now I'm gonna change the tip. It's time to clean this Apple Pencil case. Okay. It definitely feels it doesn't make such a big difference as you can see here. It's probably just a mental thing, but how I am writing it, it totally feels a lot different. It feels a little bit heavier for me than when I'm writing with this tip. And you could kind of hear it too. Let me go back to the other pen. It feels different. It feels more like writing on a piece of paper when I use this tip for me personally. Maybe you like writing on with the one that comes with the Apple Pencil or with your stylus, whatever you use. But this feels more natural to me. Okay, so that was the number one thing that majorly worked for me. There's other tips and tricks that you can do. I know a lot of people, I don't have a cover. So now I know a lot of people recommend to put, I think it's called paper-like, and it kind of feels like you're writing on paper. I haven't tried that yet. If you guys highly recommend it and it's worth the investment, let me know. But I haven't had any issues with just implementing these little things. So the first thing that you might want to do if you want to try out different tips, you can do that. That's just my personal experience, what happened, what helped me. But there's also an option. I'm using GoodNotes 5. If you go to the little three dots here, you'll get the stylus and palm rejection. When you click here, it asks you for your writing posture and the pen sensitivity. So I typically write like this. Obviously, if you're left-handed, you're going to use on the left, and here's for right-handed. So if you're somebody who's typically writes like this or like that, you know, it has the different angles. Let me click on them so you can see how they look, or you can probably see them like that. But I typically write this way. So that's one thing that can help. Another thing that can help is, which is also my number 2 tip that really helped me, is using the fountain pen. I really like using this one. You may like a ball pen. Again, this is all depends on your personal preference. I have the tip sharpness at 25% and the sensitivity pressure at 50%. This is what I have it at. And the pen thickness, as you can see here, I have it at 1.5 mm. So and you can see the difference. So for example, let me go here to the pen thickness of 0.45 and writing easy tips to write neatly. I feel that it makes the letters look a little bit more funny. But if I do the thickness, I feel like it looks more neater and more aligned. So when I have when I have the thickness that I want, and again, my settings that I prefer it is at 1.5 mm, I also like to zoom in. You can either use your fingers to zoom in, or you can use the zoom in tool here in the corner. But for me, this is a lot faster and easier just to zoom in and write. And this is easy tips to write. When you zoom in, you'll notice that you write a little bit smaller because you're zoomed in. And I wrote these obviously without zooming in. So I like to zoom in. Another thing that helped me is you can always flip your iPad. If you have your planners horizontal, you can always, vertical, you can always just flip it over to vertical. From vertical to horizontal, and then you can write. It gives you more screen space to write neatly on your iPad. And when I first started writing, maybe you probably think this is not the best writing, but when I first started writing, and I wish I had examples of it, but when I first started writing on the iPad, it looked like chicken scratch. It did not look like this, but it was only within like a day or two, because I use my iPad for planning my days. So as soon as I got into the groove of it and just changing the pen thickness, so you can just move to left to right to adjust the pen thickness. You can do that to play with it. Maybe for you want it at a thicker pen thickness, or perhaps for you prefer the ball pen. Again, it just like all depends, but these are like the easy quick tips that I have for you today. Nothing crazy there. The only thing that I spent money on, I would say, is on this tip. That was really truly a game changer for me. But other than that, there's no secret or magic here. Number one, I know you don't want to hear this, boring, but practice. That's the only way you're going to get better at something, with practice. And then number two, just really play with the settings. Change it to a fountain pen, change it to a ball pen, change it to a brush pen. Play with the tip sharpness and the pressure and sensitivity. That's what I did. I think the default settings are both at 50%, if I'm not mistaken. And I just really like the sharpness at the 25%. I really like the pressure sensitivity at the 50% that is here. But you only will know what feels more comfortable for you and best for you. So my number one advice would be to start with the pen style, the sharpness. So try each one and changing the tip sharpness and pressure sensitivity. And then once you do that, come here and play with the thickness. And obviously assuming that you already did the stylus and palm rejection. You want to make sure that actually maybe you want to do this first. So I'm assuming that you do this first, whether you're right with your left or with your right. Make sure the posture is right. Once you have the right posture, then come back here and play with the fountain pen settings. And don't be afraid to just move your iPad, you know, have it from vertical to horizontal, and use the zoom in option with 2 fingers to write. All right, guys, I hope this helps you. I hope you found this useful. If you have any other tips to share with me, please drop them in the comments below. Thank you for being here. Remember to subscribe and like, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.